learned to match her level of rigor, and that has been something that has been kind of a hallmark of my success, is just being able to know how to engage in world-class research. So essentially, I'm a professor of science education. I'm here at Stanford. This is year number 18, and I study how language and culture matter for the teaching and learning of science, looking across context. So right now we've shifted. We do a little bit of work focusing on how technology can play a role in creating diversity and equity in science education. And so that's what I do. A graduate of the Graduate School of Education at UC Santa Barbara, Gervitz School, and great people, great experience. And so that's kind of where I am now. Well, I think one of the things that's most striking about my experience is I really had a dynamic set of research expertise and methodological training. So my advisor, who's no longer there, Greg Kelly, and my secondary advisor, Julie Bianchini, who's just incredible, and the retired Judith Green, gave me a dynamic set of skills. And so I initially was looking to examine urban science teaching without a real focus on language, but working with Dr. Green, really came to understand the role of language broadly, and was able to take the skills that I was being taught at UCSB and apply them to my interests. Julie Bianchini is methodologically very sophisticated and thorough, and so I learned to match her level of rigor, and that has been something that has been kind of a hallmark of my success, is just being able to know how to engage in world-class research that is detailed and rigorous. And then, of course, my primary advisor, Greg Kelly, is just an incredibly thoughtful person. One of the things that he helped me understand was that every lens is important. And so as I view the research, for the lens and perspective, the years of lived experience that I brought to my research was a tool to engage in innovative work. And so part of what I was able to do is to take that lens, apply both the methods and the new lenses I was being provided, and do work that was strong. And it was really because I had the best group of advisors possible, a great support network. And the dean at the time is something that goes unnoted. Jules Zimmer, I was not able to find a place to live. And I lived with the dean for 3 months, and he opened up his house and said, "Here, you can live here with me until people will rent to you." He took care of me quietly. It was almost like family, just an incredible human being. And so I owe Dean Zimmer the world. Well, I think when I think of equity, I think of understanding the inputs and outputs, right? The thing. So if I were to tell a person their entire life that they have no limits, they begin to think with no limits. And so part of what I come to understand is that part of people's experiences is the constant communication of limits and the constant communication of barriers. And then we wonder why limitations are placed on young people. And so one of the things that's super fruitful for me when I think about research is how we can think about removing the limits to really empower young people. And so, for example, in a science classroom, if you encounter a difficult problem, it's difficult for everybody, right? But if you have taken the class before because you had 2 APs offered at your school, you have a better opportunity. So I think part of what's ultimately valuable is to really think through all of the aspects of teaching and learning. Yeah, no, I have a debt to that place. I really I talk to everyone who I worked with to this day, great mentors, and I had a great experience. I really loved the school, and it really prepared me. I didn't really know what I was being prepared for, but I hit the road well prepared to engage in the business of educational research and teaching and training. I love it. So Very thankful.